Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the NFC North. And it involves none other than Trey Hendrickson, the explosive edge rusher from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hendrickson has been a key player for the Bengals over the past few seasons, and his name keeps popping up as a potential target for the Bears, especially as they look to bolster their pass rush and make a serious playoff push. And let's face it, with the way the Bears have been building this roster, adding a player like Hendrickson could be the missing piece that propels them into that elite tier of NFL teams vying for a Super Bowl. Right now, the Bengals are facing some tough decisions. They're sitting at 5-6, and while they have some bright spots, their defense has been leaking points, allowing nearly 8 points per game, and they're pretty tight on cap space with only about $12 million available. The looming extension for wide receiver T. Higgins is also putting pressure on their cap, which makes them look for ways to free up some cash. And interestingly enough, their defense, particularly their pass rush, has taken a hit recently, especially after losing their sack leader, Trey Hendrickson, and seeing sacks drop by about 25%, from around 40 to just 30 per game. Sources indicate that the Bengals could be willing to part ways with Hendrickson, especially if they get a solid draft pick in return, like a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. For the Bears, that's a tempting proposition. They're looking to add pass rush depth after losing Tryon Shoyinka to injury, and Hendrickson's experience and explosiveness could be exactly what they need to elevate their defensive front. Remember, Hendrickson isn't just a good player, he's a game changer. Drafted in 2017, he's been a consistent force for nearly a decade, accumulating 81 sacks, 550 pressures, and maintaining a PFF grade hovering around 88.5 in recent seasons. His ability to rush the passer, combined with his relentless motor, makes him a perfect fit for Chicago's aggressive style under head coach Matt Eberflus. Now, let's talk about what Hendrickson can bring to the Bears specifically. With him on the edge alongside DeMarcus Walker, the Bears' pass rush could see a dramatic boost, projected to reach around 57 sacks this season, up from their current rate of about 35. Hendrickson's speed and relentless pursuit could add roughly 22 more sacks to the team's total, pushing their defense to new heights. And it's not just about sacks. His pressure rate, previously around 20%, could increase the overall efficiency of their pass rush, making it harder for opposing quarterbacks to settle in and find their rhythm. Adding Hendrickson would also have a ripple effect on the entire defensive unit. It could help offset some of the impact of losing key players like Edmonds to IR, who will be out for the season due to a knee injury, and Johnson, who's expected to be sidelined for about 6 weeks with a leg injury. Hendrickson's presence would bolster the run defense, which currently allows about 4.2 yards per carry, but could see that number drop closer to 3-4 yards with his disruptive presence. His ability to set the edge and force quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations would boost third down stops, an area where the Bears have struggled but with Hendrickson could improve by over 14%. From a statistical standpoint, Hendrickson's impact is undeniable. Last season, he recorded 16 sacks, and his career averages include a sack rate of roughly 1.6 sacks per game. His pressures and QB hits consistently put opposing offensive lines on notice. His playmaking ability in clutch moments, combined with his knack for forcing turnovers, forced fumbles in particular, is precisely what the Bears need as they aim to compete for the NFC North crown and beyond. And with the current odds of winning the Super Bowl around plus 700, eyeing a move for Hendrickson could be exactly what Chicago needs to make a real run and possibly flip the narrative of their recent seasons. Now, why would the Bengals be willing to part with him? Well, with Higgins' extension negotiations looming, they need to make some cap room and focus on rebuilding their offensive line and secondary, areas that have been problematic this year. Losing Hendrickson would hurt, no doubt, but the Bengals might see a strategic rebuild as necessary at this point. The decline in sacks and pressure production after losing Hendrickson in 2022 is a clear indicator of how much he means to their pass rush. The Bengals might be seeding some short-term production to set up for a more sustainable future, especially with a cap crunch and roster retooling in mind. Looking at the bigger picture, bringing Hendrickson to Chicago would be a statement move. It's about sending a message that the Bears are serious about contending now, not just rebuilding for the future. His speed, combined with the already promising development of players like DeMarcus Walker, could give Chicago an elite pass rush that's feared across the league. It's a combination that could elevate the defense from a good unit to a truly dominant one that can carry the team deep into the playoffs and give Justin Fields even more opportunities to showcase his talents. And let's not forget the division implications. The NFC North has been a tight race lately, with the Lions, Packers, and Vikings all vying for supremacy. If the Bears can land Hendrickson, it would be a significant step toward establishing themselves as the division's top dog. Their pass rush would be among the best in the league, and that's often the difference-maker in close games. It's about creating mismatches, forcing turnovers, and getting after the quarterback relentlessly. Hendrickson's addition could be that X-factor that tips the scales in Chicago's favor for seasons to come. Of course, there will be skeptics. Some might question whether this move is worth the draft capital, or if the Bengals will really be willing to part with such a valuable player. But for Bears fans, the excitement lies in the potential. Imagine the roar of Soldier Field as Hendrickson and Walker terrorize opposing offenses, creating chaos and setting the tone for a defense that's been craving that kind of punch for years. It's about building a sustainable winning culture, and adding a veteran like Hendrickson could be the spark that ignites the Bears' playoff ambitions. In conclusion, this is a move that could define the Bears' season and beyond. It's about maximizing Justin Fields' potential, strengthening the defense, and finally giving Chicago a pass rush that can dominate games. Hendrickson's proven track record, combined with the Bears' current roster needs and strategic outlook, makes this a compelling story. If the trade happens, it could very well be the turning point that elevates the Bears back to NFC contenders and reestablishes their reputation as a team that's always ready to strike. The NFL landscape is shifting, and Chicago has an opportunity to be at the forefront with the right moves, like landing Trey Hendrickson. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.